Anthony Adebayo. We off the record.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5. We off the record.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B. We off the record. We off the record.
Yo, what up, what up, what up?
It's good, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. This is Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
Boy, Scotty B, man.
All right, so you know how Sesame Street, they tell you this episode is brought to you by the letter J, right? So this episode of Off the Record is brought to you by the numbers 6, 7. It's so corny. It's so corny.
My daughter and son be driving me up a wall. 6, 7, 6, 7. They got me doing this shit. But man, what's been good, man?
No, man, it's been a lot.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
So we've been gone the last couple of weeks, and I guess before we even get started, say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Thanksgiving is tomorrow. So happy Thanksgiving. All right. So now that we got the pleasantries out the way, I mean, we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot of catching up to do, I feel like. This past week, some upsets, some comebacks, some things like that. I think we should talk about that. Some basketball things, some other sports stories. I think, and I know a lot of people's talked about it, and we've gone back and forth on this topic. I think we might still be at the opposite ends of the spectrum, but I do want to just briefly bring up Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, so look, a couple weeks went by, right? So we saw him make his appearance a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Came into the game, and we've been going back and forth regarding like how many reps he should have with the first team. Are they really setting him up for like success? Does the coach like really like him? That sort of thing, right? So I think it was apparent after the first game that he came in, he wasn't prepared. So I think like the sports like community kind of went back and forth. A lot of people had their opinions to where certain people felt like it's unheard of to not get your backup quarterback reps. Other people said, well, I get it if it's a rookie. But I kind of looked at it as moving forward is all on Shedeur. You fast forward to the Raiders, he performed. And he looked completely different with a week of reps, a week with the starters, throwing to the right receivers. Then you go to the coach and the end of the game. I think this is where we're going to start here. So I want to land this airplane pretty quickly, and I want to give you the floor. I didn't necessarily see too much wrong with his end of the game speech, right? I do agree. He could have shot at Shedeur out a little bit more. Maybe it should have been possibly another game ball. Where I will agree with you, and I will give you the floor. And this is for Kevin Stefanski. It did appear that he may not like Shedeur in that speech. Now, from now to how he supports him and how he wakes up and how he does it, it's all going home. What are your thoughts?
I appreciate that. Because that's been the main thing that I've been like trying to get across is that, I did say he's been treated unfairly, and you guys, you and Jamal gang up on me, said no, it's just normal what's happening, which to me, nothing said normal with this situation, right? And when I say that, I'm talking about, You gave the rookie reps when somebody else was starting. Then when that number one was the bench player, he still got reps with the ones when he's been in the system 3 separate times. Now, I'll get back to the game, but that post game speech told me a lot. It told me that he's not excited to have this guy as his quarterback, right? It also told me that he has been treating him unfairly. You should do a good job. Like it's come on, right? This is this kid's first time I'm starting. Not only that, he's the first Brown. I don't care who the opponent is. The Browns, every time they had somebody debut, didn't play the 85 Bears. It's not like they played like the best team every single time. And the Raiders just gave the damn Broncos fits just 2 weeks ago. So the fact that he won his first start, and that's something that hasn't been done since 1995. I want to say since before they came back, right? Or is that when it's before, right when they came back, since they've been back in Cleveland. So nonetheless, I thought that should have been celebrated because it just doesn't happen in Cleveland. And we can't say, oh, act like it's happened before. It hasn't. Like the last time somebody debuted as a quarterback for Cleveland, Shador wasn't even alive, right?
So this is where I'm at with it.
Mm-hmm.
All the other stuff, I'll agree, was circumstantial. And that's where I've always been with it is that we have no proof, right? And I kind of like sided with him to where it's like, okay, I get it. If it's not your guy, you're not overexcited for him. Maybe you don't have vested interest in him. Like I've always felt like maybe Shador was maybe forced on him, and maybe like if he had it his way, he would have never drafted him. And I get the mental aspect of not wanting to, because Shador, him being there is ultimately, I wouldn't say a distraction for the team, but a distraction for the other quarterback. So if you're trying to develop this other quarterback and you know that you got Shador that's behind you, you know the fans are calling for him, and your performance is going to be under a microscope because the minute that you start to mess up, they're going to start calling for Shador. I kind of get from a coach's standpoint to where, okay, you might want to alleviate that pressure. You might want to instill a little bit of confidence in them. My call out for Kevin Stefanski is now you have an opportunity to right the ship. If he continues to ball out and it's clear that maybe you were sabotaging him and maybe not giving him the right opportunity and you're not the good fit, you could coach yourself out of a job because teams are going to go with a franchise quarterback before they go with a coach. And the fact that he's 3-8. Yeah, he's 3-8. He's had some success there, but the narrative starts to change a little bit because if the defense is going to continue to play lights out, you've got like a quarterback that you look like that if he could string along some good wins or build upon that performance, and it becomes obvious that this is the direction that they need to go in. And if he's not the coach that's behind that, they're going to get rid of him. And we kind of saw this with play out. And I know it was other situations down in Miami when Brian Flores was the coach, but you saw it with Tua.
Yep.
Where he wasn't high on Tua, was a decent coach, but at the end of the day, the organization is going to be like, you know what? He's mentally not good for our quarterback.
Right.
We're going to bring in somebody that can develop him. And again, it wasn't all that with Brian Flores, but I'm pretty sure the fact that Tua wasn't his guy and they felt like Tua wasn't developing had a play and why he ended up losing his job down there.
And I agree, because that was the next thing I was going to say, because I was going to say that ultimately Shador is probably going to save Stefanski's job, because I can't remember if we said we were talking about coaches that may be on a hot seat and maybe, and I was one to defend Stefanski, saying he's a 2-time coach of the year. They're not going to fire him, not now, right? And honestly, he might get fired.
If he doesn't get on the right side of this. Now, if Shador comes in, has a couple bad games, and it becomes apparent that maybe Dylan Gabriel should have been in there, then it might be a little bit of a different story. But if Shador comes in there and balls out, and the locker room and the fan base is still clearly behind, that's who we should have in there, he's going to have to adjust to that. But if he continues to just not get behind him and look like he's sabotaging them, then they're going to make it like a different decision and probably go in a different direction.
And you know what? I mean, why not? Why? I mean, if he doesn't want that guy as his quarterback, why not move on? So here's what Shador does have to do. He has to leave, no doubt. He can't play with his food. He has to stack these games, and then honestly, they don't even have to get the wins. You have to stack the good performances, because like this weekend they play the 49ers, right? And the 49ers are a lot better than the Raiders. The 49ers are missing some guys on defense. With that said, the 49ers are the 49ers. They're an established team. They have probably one of the best defensive coaches in the league. So if let's just say they lose the game, but they're competitive. Now, I tell you what, Cleveland can beat the 49ers, right? What was that, last year? 2 years ago? It was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
2 years ago when 49ers went on a little losing streak. But it was to Cleveland, and Cleveland was, I think they had Flacco at the time. That's when Flacco made that run. I would say the ideal thing for Shador is to force them to say quarterback is not a need in the draft. They need to build around me, right? And if that happens, then you see, they could go in a different direction in the draft. They could go get a receiver, because there's plenty of receivers coming out. They could go get another running back or whatever, a tight end, whatever. They don't necessarily have to go for one of those quarterbacks. And if you stack those games, and you putting a lot of pressure on them to decide, are you our guy?
That's all he has to do, right? Is he has to continue to put pressure on them. Now, if he goes out there and he starts thinking the joint up, then it'll be a while before he gets his next opportunity. He's going to have to wait for Gabriel to get hurt again. But excited.
Well, I think it's safe to say that Gabriel's not the guy. I think that excuse me. I think that they've seen enough of Dylan Gabriel to say.
So I want to be fair, right? That Cleveland team, it is tough to assess anybody with it. That offense is not a good offense. I mean, then their defense is lights out. I mean, like Myles Garrett is having, again, another amazing season where, to have 18 sacks at this point in the season, I mean, is just crazy and mind-blowing what that defense is able to do. But because they've got all that money tied up in Deshaun Watson, there's a lack of talent at the receiver position, running back. I mean, I know they got Judkins yeah.
And so I think that this is the last year where they really are affected by Deshaun Watson's contract. I think he's going to get cut at the end of the season. They're going to save, I think, like $40-something million. And yeah, again, it's up to the quarterback. If you prove that you belong, then they're probably not. They're probably gonna bring in a vet, maybe somebody like a Jameis Winston, or somebody like what Indianapolis did with Daniel Jones or Mac Jones, and somebody that if they can learn from, they can develop with. If add a little bit of competition, so it's not it's just your job and we just gonna be behind you, because I don't think that they're there yet. With Shador. And honestly, I'm interested to see what happens in this offseason with Shador. All right. Well, I mean, you kind of surprised me, man. I wasn't expecting you to be, at least have some sort of agreements with me. So okay, I appreciate that.
No, I think the speech, when you look at it,
it looks bad, man.
I wouldn't say it looked bad, but it definitely he did kind of graze over that performance. So you gotta say, okay, maybe there's not a lot of validity to everything else, but this you have to agree that, like you said, that's a big moment. Like Myles Garrett, like it's not going to be another game where he's not going to get 3 sacks, and I mean he played out of his mind. But you have to acknowledge you got a rookie quarterback in the guy's first start and got it done.
And they won the game, man. And I think that's the most important thing is that they won the game. So I try to like stay away from talking about the Cowboys, right? I try.
No, go ahead. I figured you wanted to talk about the Cowboys. So.
I mean, I wouldn't say it like that. I mean, but okay, if you insist. So Cowboys, Eagles. Cowboys went down early and fought their way back. It's not about the Cowboys. I think that their defense is playing better. It looks like a totally different defense when you bring back Overshown. You pick up Quinnen Williams. Some of the DBs come back. Yeah. I mean, and that doesn't happen if you don't trade Michael Parsons, which is whatever. But I honestly really want to talk about the Eagles, and I want to get your thoughts on. Do you think that there's a problem in Philly?
Oh, there absolutely is a problem in Philly. I think the reality of it is right now, the NFC is just not that good. And what I mean,
the NFC is not that good.
Hear me out on this. So hear me out where I'm going with this direction.
Okay, all right. I wasn't expecting that.
There's a problem in Philly, but somehow nobody really seems to be challenging the Eagles. I mean, I know that sounds crazy that, the Cowboys just beat them, but even with all those problems, they're still able to figure out how to win games. And they're beating the top teams in the NFC. Like the way I kind of look at it, and a lot of people would disagree with me on this, is you have the Eagles and then it's everybody else. Now, I believe that everybody else might be able to beat the Eagles, but everybody else, like there's chinks in that armor. Like I know everybody's
I agree with that.
Everybody's high on the Rams, but the 49ers beat the Rams. Like the Rams, the Eagles beat the Rams. So it's when you look at the top of the NFC, you have the Eagles, the Lions aren't who we thought they were. Now, I mean, they may fare out well tomorrow. Green Bay has not been
they've been shaky.
Yeah. You look at Tampa Bay, they're not
they got a lot of injuries.
They got a lot of injuries, but they've kind of like came back to earth. Yeah, the 49ers are 8-4, but it's a lot of injuries on that team.
Yeah.
Dallas, they're in the must-win tomorrow. Like I feel like if they do win, then they're added back to the conversation.
I think they already added to the conversation. 5-1. They are a must-win.
Yeah. They're in the must-win. So yeah, it's
a team you didn't bring up.
What team did I not bring up?
Those Bears out of Chicago.
Here's the thing.
Oh,
here's the thing with them. I have to give them their credit. Do they scare me? No.
Okay.
I will put them right with those other teams that I did bring up.
Right.
To where you have the Eagles, and then you have everybody else that, if you're a fan, you have to feel good about your chances of attacking the NFC.
I agree with that.
But with all that being said, even though that Dallas beat the Eagles, right now they're still the number one team in the NFC.
They top.
No,
no. The Rams are the one. The Rams are one.
Oh, the Rams
are 9-2. So the Rams are 9-2, and then you have Philly's 8-3, Chicago's 8-3, Seattle's 8-3, 49ers are 8-4.
So I didn't add Seattle in there, so I think Seattle's in that conversation. But Seattle, the Rams, the Eagles, the Bears, the 49ers. If I'm looking at those teams and I'm 5-5, I feel personally
I can catch them.
I can catch them or I can take them. Like I don't feel like that.
Now with that said, that does I don't think that. So I agree with that. What I don't agree with is that the NFC is not that good. I think that makes the NFC even stronger because if you think about it, let's just go back a couple years ago. Yeah, the Cowboys went 12-5, but you had the Eagles that was whether they were 13-4 or whatever. You had the 49ers who were like super dominant. The Rams were the Seattle was no, actually Seattle was they had some years. But and then Tampa Bay was just okay, but the rest of that division was terrible. Then the NFC North, you had the Packers who were but everybody else. I mean, I'm sorry, the Lions were but everybody else was like but it was like 3 or 4 teams. Now you have a legit probably 8 or 9 teams that's like they could probably win the conference.
So let me say this. Maybe let me rephrase this. I don't mean not that good. I mean, more or less, with that, and with all the problems that the Eagles have, somebody should have been like they shouldn't be 8-3 with everything that they've got going on. Okay. It is obvious AJ Brown has smoke for that organization, and within good reason, right? Because most receivers, I mean, look, it's crazy that it's acceptable practice now, but they want the football. They want to contribute. Like they don't care they want to win, yes, but receivers and running backs, they want that production. They want to feel like, the team needs me. They want the ball. Right. They want to dominate. And the fact that he's not getting the ball and they're targeting him a whole bunch. I mean, like he had a pretty good game last week because I knew the week before they started targeting him a lot. So he's in a situation where they look like they're trying to at least force feed him the ball, but it's not enough.
I think AJ Brown's main issue is that the offense just looks terrible. I don't know if it's necessarily his targets. I just think that he's concerned about the way the offense looks, right? And if I have an honesty moment right now, it's kind of like my high school team, right? It was one of those where defense would get some stops and they'll get the offense the ball and they stall out. Or they're like, damn, we gave y'all a good position, y'all don't get points. Or you just get in 3. And it's just like, you may win, but it's like, I don't really know about this win. It's like, because when we play tougher competition, what are we going to do, right? And so in the case of the Eagles, you're playing a division opponent and you're up 21-0, you should win that game. I mean, it don't matter if you're playing a division opponent, a conference opponent, you up 21-0, you should win that game. But, I mean, we've seen comebacks happen. So I think that the concern is the consistency of the offense and the lack of production from the running game, the lack of production from the quarterback, throwing the ball downfield is like
it's predictable.
Yes, they don't do any motions.
They don't do it.
And I think that that was a problem with the Cowboys. Rarely did any motions. What you see is what you get. And it's like, I mean, I tell people this all the time. If we're behind the camera or behind the TV watching the game and say, oh, here comes a slant, and here comes this, here comes that, here comes every time they line up like this, you're telling me that professional defensive coordinators can't see that or won't pick that up and put their guys in position to win. So yes, I think that the biggest issue is the consistency of their offense, which is like Saquon is having a down year. Because everybody else is even having a down year.
Everybody in the world can tell when he's about to get the football.
Yeah, right.
So if you're a defense and okay, I've got to take away Saquon, which they're going to commit to. You look at AJ Brown, like the ball is going to go to him.
Yeah.
So it makes it because they're so predictable. It makes it a lot harder for them to get the offense going.
So I guess the next question would be, what do they do to fix it?
Simplify it
even more.
They got to figure something out. I mean, it's.
I mean, that offense is as simple as it's gonna get. Because right now they're headed to where they were in 23. Right, they started 10-1, didn't win the division, and they're headed down that road, and I mean, it is what it is. That'd be great for me.
You know what this has taught me? You say it all the time, and you see it is we underestimate when teams lose coordinators.
Yeah.
And when you don't have a person that, because even if you're with the organization, you're going to want to put your spin on it. You're going to want to do things different.
Yep.
And
that's just natural.
This is natural. Yeah. And teams have growing pains. Now, I think for them, we've given them the benefit of the doubt because 8-3 is still a damn good record, right? So the defense has been able to keep them alive to where, yeah, it's a problem. It's getting a lot more swept under the rug because they were continuing to win. Now, if they only had 4 wins or they had 5 wins, you would be hearing a lot more about it. I'm still going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they can figure it out, but there's smoke there. Like you cannot tell me that there's not smoke in that locker room.
So let me say this. Since the beginning of the season, I was called, oh, you're just being a fan. You just hate the Eagles. I said, no, you can look at it. I was like the way they were winning is not sustainable. Look at the Rams game. You blocked 2 kicks and you return 1 to win the game. The Buccaneers, I believe they missed the kick, and then I think they blocked the kick. The Buccaneers game, the Cowboys game to open the season. If CeeDee Lamb catches those passes, it's a different ball. Again, it's woulda, shoulda, coulda. But these are signs that we're seeing. Yes, you came out on the right side of the story, but is this sustainable to be a winning team, right? Is it sustainable? Because it's not showing, oh, we're efficient here and we're efficient there. No, it shows that we're just lucky right now. And sometimes it is better to be lucky than good because, again, I say it all the time when I'm coaching, I'd rather fix mistakes after a win than after a loss.
Right.
And I totally understand that, but you should still be concerned, right? And it started from game 1. You should still have some sort of concern. And it's starting to come back to bite them, right? Because, if now they play the Bears this week. Now, I mean, that's Black Friday, standalone game. What I want I absolutely want the Bears to win for multiple reasons. I need them to stay in first as long as possible because I picked them to win the division, and I got laughed at by my peers. They laughed at me and they said you should change your pick. Huh?
I laughed. I mean, if you think about it, that division at the beginning of the season was probably the most unpredictable or one of the most unpredictable divisions.
I think some people said it was the best division.
Well, you got the Lions, which, I mean, they're a good football team. Then you look at what the Packers, I mean, they've been young and what they've been able to do.
Yeah.
And just Jordan Love being a year older. So I thought that was good. And then JJ McCarthy, like, how do you bet against him? So that
hurts, man. JJ McCarthy looks bad.
It looks bad. But the reality is it's his first year.
Yeah.
It's his first year. And the NFL it's a tough
Now,
league.
can I say something?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if that was Shedeur Sanders? They would put 10 or 20 on it. JJ McCarthy is he's just like, to me, like they treat him like just a guy. He's playing like terribly. Like he's like right now, like one of the worst. And like you're right, it's his first year. But I mean, he was pretty much gifted with a winning team. Like you were gifted with a playoff team. Like you have everything you would think everything you need. But I think right now he's in his head. It's his first year, and it's like, whoa.
In retrospect, and management may be on the hook a little bit, letting Sam Darnold leave that team. Yeah. And we all understand it because JJ McCarthy's first round pick, like you had to like go in that direction, and nobody anticipated that Sam Darnold was going to have the type of season that he had last year. But I'm wondering if it would have been the better move to hold on to Sam Darnold.
Yeah, but I don't know if they wanted to put that much money into him because it's like and I can understand that, but I kind of agree. You probably give him because what did he get? He got 4 years in Seattle. I mean, he's probably playing better in Seattle now than he did last year in Minnesota. But I mean, even if you give him 4 years or 3 years, I mean, with an out, maybe, you do something. But they believed in JJ McCarthy, but
I don't think it's even so much the belief. I think it's more the blueprint. Like, I think everybody has to like sometimes take a step back and realize, like, okay, so the blueprint is you have a rookie quarterback.
mm-hmm.
You need to get them into the game as fast as possible, figure out what you have, if you can build around them. And if you have a stud, go ahead and get them weapons early so that you can, while they're on that rookie deal, you can maximize their potential on there.
Jamal just went at you, by the way. I'll post it for the people to see. He that's what he said.
He said, "Did you say how you bet he was a bum and the Wolverine's eyes made you see too much?" Wow,
that's cold.
That is cold. That is cold-blooded, and possibly right.
Probably he might be he might be a little right on that because I even said I ain't gonna lie. I said that JJ McCarthy was gonna have a better season this season than Sam Darnold. I said that. I do remember
no. And again, hindsight's 2020. I'll always root for JJ McCarthy, but I guess where I was going with that is like some teams you have the obvious answer.
Yeah,
you had a good quarterback, and you chose to go with your rookie that was unproven because it wasn't like he had an opportunity to really even showcase himself or even had an opportunity to let you know, like, okay, this is the direction that we're going in. They probably should have just took the surefire answer and just went with Sam Darnold.
So let me ask you. So moving forward, right? They know he needs work. They stuck with him pretty much for 4, maybe 5 years, or 3, maybe 4 years, or whatever. Do you go get someone like a Mac Jones to create some sort of competition? And if Mac Jones beats out JJ McCarthy, you go with JJ McCarthy. I mean, you go with Mac Jones.
Absolutely. I think like we've kind of gotten away from that is like we think, or not we think, but at least just my observation of like football is sometimes we get married to these first round draft picks to where we feel like they don't really have to earn it. Like they just get to come in, they just get to say, okay, here's the keys to the franchise. But the reality is they got to compete too.
Yeah.
And they got to be called to the carpet when they're not performing. And sometimes it's okay to realize like, hey, this ain't the guy. Maybe we need to go in a different direction. And what I'm starting to see too is you have a wave of good quarterbacks that maybe were the JJ McCarthy's, right? That they weren't ready the first year, may not be ready until the 3rd or 4th year. And then that's when they'll be able to come in and have their opportunity. Because like, if you think about it, like Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Mac Jones, like these were guys that's 3 years ago, people were like, dang, what do we see? Yeah, they're bumps, but they're solid starting quarterbacks. I mean, if you look at him, Mac Jones, because he's still a backup, but Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield will probably be in the Pro Bowl this year.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, and sometimes, listen, I remember back in the day, you had to be super special to get the keys day one, right? It didn't matter if you was a first rounder or a second rounder, and you sat and you. I mean, I guess like in modern times now, I guess the person you should probably look at is like a Patrick Mahomes. He sat. Now he was behind Alex Smith, who was good and he was a good starter. Ultimately, he was like a bridge guy. He couldn't really get over the hump, and unfortunately, I guess fortunately, he was in front of Patrick Mahomes, and he helped teach Patrick Mahomes, and he was one of the few guys who actually didn't mind helping, the younger guys. You look at I mean, the way Green Bay does it, from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. I mean, and they'll probably draft another guy in a couple years that's gonna have to sit for 3 years if Jordan Love don't get his act together and become a little bit more consistent, like Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. I mean, so you see it in certain places where they take time to develop the quarterback, and but you don't see it that often. I mean, like Cam Ward honestly shouldn't be starting right now. They probably are ruining this kid instead of developing. They say, "Oh, you're the number one pick. The floor is yours." You know, and everybody has different philosophies. Some people's philosophy may be he's the number one pick. We expect him to be ready from day one. And some people says he's a number one pick or our first round pick, but we want to develop him. We see he's the future. We want to make sure that he's good enough in the future, whether it takes 1, 2, or 3 years. That all right, now we got 2 years to see what he has on his rookie contract.
Well, look at Bryce Young, right? He's a perfect example of somebody that, and I'm not saying that the verdict's not still out on him, right? Because he still has like opportunities and he's not quite like your household name. But if you look at like he was thrown to the Wolves, people realize that he may not be it. So then he went to that stint with they brought in Andy Dalton. He was the backup.
Yep.
Now you look at him this year, and I'm not saying that he's playing Pro Bowl caliber football, but he seems to be doing like pretty decent.
He's progressing.
He's progressing, and he's having a decent season. But you look at it as year 3. So you know, if he would have sat those 2 first years,
he will probably be a whole lot better
than we would.
And I mean, but the problem is everybody wants to microwave success, and it clearly doesn't work that way. It's like,
well, everybody thinks of CJ Stroud. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that have just been like even Jaden Daniels, which he's going to have to take a step back because he's got that sophomore slump that everybody goes through now. You know, CJ Stroud, we saw it with him. He went through a sophomore slump
and a junior year slump, but whatever. I mean, I'm just saying. See, I mean, he has a concussion. I mean, listen, Davis Mills. I think he's gonna play. I think CJ Stroud's gonna play this week, and this is a big game. They play the Colts, and the Colts are reeling right now. The Texans all of a sudden have life, and they're behind Jacksonville and Indianapolis. But if they beat the Colts this week, I believe that they'll probably be tied for second or something. That division is going to be real jumbled with those 3 teams, and it's like, see, they don't come in here and mess it up. Honestly, if I was him, I mean, not if I was him, but he has to be feeling pressure because his backup just won 3 games in a row. Whether it was, and one of the games they had to come back, I believe it was the Jacksonville game. So, if you're CJ Stroud, now is not the time to get in your head. You better figure it out, you know. But again, he didn't have he got the keys day one, and he played amazing his rookie year. Last year, you know, the vaunted, they have film on you, but you know,
but he's in the same situation that Brock Purdy was in. You know, Brock Purdy went out, Mac Jones came in and like just held it down to where even the fan base, I mean, hell, I was like, well, shit, we might need to run with Mac Jones. You know, so he had that pressure to deal with them first couple games. And even when I was watching the Carolina game, we were drafting, so I wasn't as invested as I normally am in it. But I was looking like, threw another interception. Oh, he did that. And I mean, I like Brock Purdy, except for on Madden. But
sorry, man. Yeah.
It's all good. A little joke, but well, not really. What
it's serious business.
Yeah, serious business. Like I let my fandom really steer
hey, let's reel it back in. Don't get off topic. Yeah. But you wanted Brock Purdy to get paid. He got paid. I don't. So the situation with Brock Purdy is not necessarily different, but I mean, he has to earn his keep now because some of those guys that you were throwing the ball to and that was protecting you ain't around. The defense that you had to help you out is totally different right now. Fred Warner's out, Greenlaw's gone, Hufanga's gone, some of those D linemen, Nick Bosa's gone. So the defense looks totally different,
and those guys are playing great, by the way, too.
In Denver? Yeah, Denver's.
No, I'm not talking about 49ers. Denver's a whole nother subject, but
the 49ers are playing I mean, getting Robert Saleh back was low-key one of the best moves, one of the best admin moves of the offseason. I think that he was there. I think he was like you guys consultant.
Him and Mac Jones. I think that Mac Jones was a hell of a underrated free agent.
Okay, so let's go there. Do you think it was the best free agent move?
No, and I think a couple.
Well, not. I didn't mean to say free agent move. I meant to say offseason moves.
No, I think there's quite a few, and I think we kind of like touched on this a couple weeks ago, like the Rico Dowdy in Carolina, the Williams boy, the Javonte Williams pickup. I'm even going to give an alibi to George Pickens. I mean, because
I think that's the best one.
I think you can make that argument. I think Sam Darnold in Seattle. You've got to put Mac Jones. What else? I mean, it's been a lot of good, little sneaky good, little picks. The George Pickens, I think. So Mac Jones, I don't think I'll ever win an argument for that's the number one pickup. but I'll say that was but it was a very critical.
It was ideal.
Pickup. Yeah, it was ideal. It was the right fit. It was the right situation. George Pickens has changed the whole landscape of that offense. And has got, as crazy as this sound, I would never say it, it's got even people even questioning whether or not he should be the number one receiver. But he's playing that good.
I understand.
He's playing that good.
He's playing that good. Is playing that good. And I think that it also helps that CD's on the other side and CD.
Absolutely.
And I think they feed each other. But him to be the second leading receiver in the league, to me, says a lot.
Well, I'll be honest. I'll be very transparent. When the Steelers traded George Pickens to you guys, and I saw what you had to get him, I was legitimately mad. George Pickens has been a highlight reel.
Yeah.
Like the entire time that he was with the Steelers.
Yeah.
He has been a highlight reel.
Yeah.
And I could not fathom. And they tried to smear him on his way out. Character issues.
Of
he's
course.
a bad locker room guy.
But they love him there.
Yeah, but the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, like, okay, I get it. The Pittsburgh, your wide receiver, you're able to get other wide receivers. You got DK Metcalf, whatever. But I couldn't understand why they would sign DK Metcalf
and then trade
him. And they tried to Murray, they're not going to pay him. He's going to need a lot of money. And it was a whole rash of stuff. But I would at least say if that wasn't the best free agents pickup, it's right there. It's top 3 season changing. Without George Pickens, the Cowboys are not in contention with being in the playoffs. That offense.
I agree.
That offense is carrying that team right now, and the defense is slowly but surely starting to figure it out, which is propelling them to get into the situation. Now, if they beat Kansas City tomorrow, which I don't want to jinx anything, but I think they could beat Kansas City because of the way that offense is playing.
Okay.
Look out.
Can I make a bold statement?
Make a bold statement.
Let's not even. Of course, I got them beating the Chiefs. By the end of this season, the Cowboys defense will be in the top 15 defenses. They'll be top half of the league defense.
So look,
that's not bold enough.
I don't want you to.
They're 31 right now.
Yeah. I don't want you to make a bolder statement. But I'll say this: they've made some moves.
Mm-hmm.
The Marty Morningwig hire, I didn't really care because it wasn't my team, but it was just kind of like, okay, it's okay. He's got the offense looking pretty damn good. Dak, and I've said this from the beginning of the season, and people like, nah, you're tripping. He's having a pretty good season.
Pretty good is an understatement. What? I'm serious. That is, the first 5-6 weeks of the season, people would have him in the MVP conversation.
Right now, what's killing him is the record.
That's mere bag of shells. That'll be fixed.
All right.
They listen. The offense would be top 5. The defense would be around 15, 16.
So hold on. Let's just save all the bold statements. Let's let them go on a run first.
Okay. We'll revisit that.
Yeah, don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Please don't piss me off. Just I think they can beat the Chiefs. We'll see where the season lands. But yeah, man, don't piss me off.
All right, so no more bold statements.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah,
All right. Let's move on.
So I got a question for you, right? I got a question.
Oh,
Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah. That's your man's.
Not my man. He plays for the team.
I understand. I know, but you know.
So what is he thinking? Like you heard that whole situation.
So I know that they voided his guarantees for next year, right? I think he already got his guarantees for this year, but they voided his guarantees for 26. Do you know why? So before you say that, tell me if I'm wrong, because this is what I heard, that he wasn't going to get rehab for the injuries that I think his knee or his leg or something like that.
So I heard that he was rehabbing the knees, but what he was doing was he was getting into the locker room like really early, like before all the players were getting there. It might have been some rehab that he was missing. He wasn't really communicating with the team. I think for them to void his contract and him not to appeal it, he must have
says
been,
a lot, right?
Yeah, it has to say a lot. It has to say a lot about, I don't want to say his character, but him just knowing that he is just in the wrong. Why would you fumble a bag like that, though?
You got the bag, and they pretty much had to get rid of guys because they gave you that bag. Like Debo was gone because of they gave Ayuk the money. They couldn't pay Debo as well.
I wish personally they would have just traded Ayuk. I've never been that high up on Ayuk. I felt like he was a good receiver, but between him and Debo, I've never felt like, man, this is the guy that we just really, really, really have to have. You know what I mean? Like, I wish they would have traded him to the Steelers or the Commanders, but it was Brock Purdy's guy, and the consensus was like, let's not give away his weapons because we don't know how Brock Purdy's going to look without him. But the reality is, since he's gotten the money, he's been playing without him anyway. So,
So I'm definitely going to do more research on the situation because it is interesting to have your money voided, and I'm sure they were gonna, NFLPA is normally supposed to just file a grievance and they're gonna try and get you your money back, do whatever they can because they're a union and everything. But when he's saying, nah, that's just weird to me. Like,
it's very weird.
Like, it just seems like
it seems like behind the scenes they had like some conversations like, hey, look, we don't want to go in this direction. here's the opportunity to correct whatever you're doing. And he just is standing on business for whatever he's standing on business on, which, I mean, just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Interesting.
Really interesting.
I think that we're gonna see, because this is definitely different, unusual, weird. Any other thing you can use to describe the situation? I don't
Most
know.
of the time when people get their money, they at least do the bare minimum so they don't mess up their money. So
Right.
maybe
Unless
his performance goes down, but they make sure they hit all their rehab, make sure they hit, everything that they need to do. Yeah, it's very strange.
So, all right. Well, this year, I mean, this weekend is like rivalry week in college football. Of course, you got Michigan, Ohio State. You got Auburn, Alabama, Texas A&M, Georgia Tech. I'm probably missing a couple of other rivalry games. Let me ask you. I have two questions. Aside from Michigan, Ohio State, we know where we stand with that. Aside from Michigan, Ohio State, what do you think is the best college football rivalry? And then my second question would be, with the best college football rivalry, is the best college football rivalry better than what you would consider the best college basketball rivalry?
So,
you know what, you can include Michigan and Ohio State if you want to.
Yeah, so I'm always going to be biased. I've always felt that Michigan and Ohio State is the best college football rivalry. Alabama, Auburn, that's a tough one. Texas, Oklahoma, that's a tough one. The one that sticks out in my head as the biggest rivalry, college basketball, is Duke, North Carolina.
Okay. So you going college football, Michigan, Ohio State?
Yeah, I have to. I know people would disagree with that, but I'm going Michigan, Ohio State.
I think I don't disagree. But
yeah, I know you don't. But Alabama fans are going to say Alabama, Auburn, everybody that has their team, they're going to say, no, this is the biggest rivalry. This is the biggest rivalry. And basketball, I think it's a little bit more clear cut. That is Duke, North Carolina. I don't really know of another rivalry that you can even put in the same sentence as Duke, North Carolina.
So,
and college basketball.
The one thing I will say in regards to that is, of course, not so much now, but that 80s, 90s Big East. Pick any two teams you want. UConn and Georgetown, Syracuse, St. John, Syracuse. So I would say, now again, it's changed now because the way the conference structure is, with some of those teams left, some of them went to the ACC, or the Big Ten. So it changes it.
Would you put UCLA, USC in
for
there?
Football? Or basketball?
For basketball.
It's not. I don't think it's bigger than Duke, North Carolina. So let's do this. I say so: Michigan, Ohio State for football, Duke, UNC for basketball. Right? I think Kansas. I think Kentucky, Kansas. You kind of could say something about them in college basketball, even though they're not in the same conference.
So I think what makes Duke and North Carolina one of the better rivalries, and the same with Ohio State and Michigan, is you got both programs that really win, right? So you look at Michigan, most winningest college football program. You look at Ohio State, they've been dominant. And throughout the decades, they've been dominant. With Alabama, Auburn, yeah, you had the Cam Newton year. But Auburn's,
they always lose.
Yeah. So Alabama, it's they're the top team of, I would say, the last 2 decades. But it's not really the rivalry.
I would say Alabama LSU was probably more of a rivalry than Alabama Auburn.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So with Duke and North Carolina, I think the other thing is like the proximity. They're so close to each other. Is it 9 miles apart or whatever it is? But they're so close to each other that I think that plays a part. They play each other twice a year. But again, we're gonna go with those two. You know what? I got one more for you. It's a little different in college football. Army Navy.
Both teams are so Navy is always quote unquote better than the Army. Like they have a better program than them. It is a rivalry, but it's a one-sided rivalry, and I don't know the history.
I don't know about now. I mean, they both were ranked last year.
Navy is traditionally better than the Army.
Correct.
Somebody put up Louisville, Kentucky.
In basketball.
I can go with that too. It's still not Duke, North Carolina, but it's a good rivalry.
I'm trying to think of another like current like rivalry that in basketball that
you just have to tune into. If Duke and North Carolina is playing, everybody's watching.
It don't matter. It don't matter if one of the teams are bad either. Like for instance, last year Michigan had somewhat of a down year, and I mean they beat Ohio State. Ohio State ended up winning the national championship, but if it wasn't last year, and let's just say it was 3 years ago, Ohio State would have been. They wouldn't even have made the playoffs.
Let me say, Ryan Day is a 90% win coach. He's won the national championship. He's lost 4 out of 5 times to Michigan.
Yep.
That is a huge blemish on his record to where Ohio State fans are pissed because he's not been getting it done. Jim Harbaugh lost his first 5 times to Ohio State. And guess what? Most people were screaming like, yo, this guy can't win the big game. Now, he ended up winning, and then we won the 4th straight.
3 with him.
Yeah, 3 with him, and then Shamar Moore came in, and he won 1. But, yeah, those rivalry games can get you, like, fired.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen it plenty of times.
Yeah.
You can't win. I mean,
basketball, it used to be Michigan and Michigan State.
Yeah.
It used to be a key rivalry. But both programs, I feel like Michigan State is always like there. Michigan is like kind of hit or miss as far as like sometimes we'll be a powerhouse and then we'll take a break.
Yeah. Fire Jamal Howard, but whatever. Yeah, I think he had to go. But yeah, I mean rivalries are get you axed. So yeah, I think that this weekend is going to be good. The Michigan Ohio is in Michigan. This is going to be the toughest game Ohio State's had all season. If I'm a betting man, which I am, I see the game as a close game, and I see Michigan winning for the 5th year in a row, which will not stop Ohio State from being in the Big Ten championship, but is gonna show that Ohio State's played a pretty weak schedule, and if they happen to lose to Indiana in the Big Ten championship, now we got other things to talk about.
Yeah, so Michigan needs this win more than Ohio State. Like you said, it's not going to really impact Ohio State's playoff. And like you said, that's what everybody has been saying is like, because even in the Big Ten conference, they haven't played like a lot of the heavy hitters.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, they need this game as a show of force. I would love nothing more than to ruin Ryan Day's run and hope that he continues to have a losing streak against Michigan. And I can tell you they probably will love to make sure we're not in the college playoffs.
Okay.
So it's going to be interesting. I know Saturday morning I will not be doing anything but watching that game.
We should have went to that game,
I should have went to the one in Maryland last week, but I didn't. But
It's all good. So what's the score? I mean, not score, but prediction.
Michigan game 35-34, Michigan.
That's a high. I don't think it's gonna be that high scoring. It's
It's
never
gonna
that
be-
high scoring.
It's gonna be close.
It's-
All right. So I did agree with you here. I was gonna give you a minute at the end of the show to talk. Or floor is yours.
All right. So
Well, you can say your prediction. Sorry, I didn't mean cut you
I
off.
did. I
But
said I got Michigan.
I got
I
Michigan.
got
All right.
Michigan. I got
Floor is
Michigan.
yours, sir.
All right. So a couple things I want to talk about. We talked about rivalries. We talked about like some of the other things. One of the main things that I want to talk about is like loyalty, right? When I'll say this first. If somebody does right by you, I think it's only fair that you do right by that person, no matter what it is. I'm not saying break the law for anybody, but if somebody hires you to do a job, I think that you should do that job to the best of your ability. If they assist you in getting you a job, I think you should. I'm not saying kiss anybody's butt, but you should ultimately show your appreciation, not go and try to backstab someone or try and get that person fired from their job. I think that one of the things that is lacking, nowadays are like loyal people, right? I know myself personally, and this is not about me, but I know myself personally. If you've done for me, I'm always gonna. I always got your back. It's I just want to make sure that people are good. When you coach with somebody, that like it's like a brotherhood. Like you should have their back no matter what. And if you happen to leave that program, you should leave honestly in the best terms possible, because you shouldn't ever burn a bridge on your way out, because you never know when you got to cross that bridge again. And no matter how much you think that someone doesn't have power, or how much you think that you may have more power than said person, you should never ever cross a bridge. I mean, burn a bridge that that someone hired you and helped you build on the way. So that's part of my what I wanted to get across to people out there. I think that's the best way to put it. Don't burn a bridge, because you never know when you got to cross that bridge again, right? And so that's what I will leave people with. And I'm done.
No, I agree, and you're right. Loyalty is so hard to come by, and people, when they get what they need out of the situation, a lot of times they'll forget to look back at the people that have got them in those situations. But I tell you one thing about loyal people that I've seen, that karma comes really fast to people that are unloyal.
Yeah.
It comes really, 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 really fast, because some of the characteristics that make them unloyal start to show, which seeps into like that karma, like coming back to them. So definitely agree with you there.
And then no matter the industries aren't that big, right? So it don't matter. You don't really always know who knows who. So whether you're a CEO, whether you're a cashier, whether you're a contract specialist, whether you work in logistics, those circles aren't that big, right? Like it is what it is. So no matter what, no matter where you go, for instance, Virginia State, right? It don't matter where you go, anywhere. One thing you're gonna see is somebody from Virginia State, whether they're an old head, whether they're somebody younger than you. It never fails. My kids say it all the time. You always see somebody that you know. I may not even know that person. The only thing we have in common is that we went to Virginia State.
Or you just don't know anybody's path. Like I had a situation where somebody became a powerful person that we don't have any negative or anything like that. We didn't even have any interaction. And I've known this person just at a distance, but I would have never looked at this person when I met this person and imagined they would be like where they are now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like nothing because it was bad or anything like that, but just I was just thinking the other day when they made this announcement, like, dang, you know what I mean? Like, you never know who's going to end up where or how the seats go or anything like that. And you just, like you said, industries are small and you never know. Like somebody that you could just be sitting next to, you could be reporting or they could be in the position to shape a lot of stuff. And you just never know.
You never know.
You have to be careful about building relationships and being loyal to people.
And just be nice. Just be a nice person. Like, you know, it doesn't hurt to like be nice to people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you know, I'm you know, next week I have something else to get off my chest. So
so I do got one question. If you're out here, I see Marcus. Have we advanced?
Oh man. So last and we'll talk more about it next week, right? But Steph Curry and Under Armour. I know we didn't talk about it. Talk about loyalty. Wait a minute. This is crazy, right? But
wait to put on Jordans.
Yeah, he gonna have on Jordans, had on Kobe's. He couldn't wait. But I think that's a whole nother subject, because I would have never thought I'd see the day when Steph Curry wasn't with Under Armour.
He's made, in my opinion, Under Armour. I mean,
yeah. I mean, Cam but they had a bunch of athletes, none bigger than Steph Curry. He was their Jordan.
Nah, but it was like when Kobe got done with Adidas, like it's like, yo, I could be a free agency.
Yep. I want to say he put on Jordans. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. All right, y'all. Well, I think we're done. Hold on, wait. Before we get out of here, I'm
Michigan by at least 14.
All right, you know, scan that QR code, people. Scan that QR code. You know what I'm saying? Scan the QR code, because we want you to subscribe. There you go. Like, subscribe, share, do all those things, man. You know, so yeah. This is Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
It's your boy Scotty B.
Say that one more time.
It's your boy Scotty B.
One more time.
Oh man, it's your boy Scotty B.
Anthony Adebayo.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo, and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.